The U.S. East Coast's largest supplier of fuel, Colonial Pipeline, is finally resuming operations after a cyber attack forced its closure last Friday. But the companies had to pay $5 million in ransom. And as Yunus Paksoy reports, the shutdown of fuel supplies has taken an even larger toll on the economy.
Cars are pulling up, drivers desperate in the hope of finding some petrol to fill up their tanks. But for many other Americans on the East Coast, it's an ineffective exercise. A cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline, the source of nearly half of the fuel on the US East Coast, has crippled petrol supply, although the company says it restored services on Wednesday night. But some petrol stations in Virginia are still struggling with supply. The stations are empty and there are out-of-order signs on the pumps. The struggle to find petrol has frustrated many Americans.
If there is no gas, how we can go work? How we can go back home? And it's like food, you know? How we can get food, you know?
It's been crazy, and I got to admit, I'm not even panic buying. I've just been getting a little low for the last couple days, and I knew I should have filled up a week ago.
The major disruption has raised questions about how vulnerable the US is against such attacks.
No premium, no supreme.
The FBI on Monday pinned the blame on a cyber group called DarkSide. The Biden administration asserts they are doing everything they can.
Don't panic, number one. I know seeing lines at the pumps or gas stations with no gas can be extremely stressful, but this is a temporary situation. Do not get more gas than you need in the next few days. As I said, we expect the situation to begin to improve by the weekend and into early next week, and gasoline supply is coming back online, and panic buying will only slow the process.
But filling up that tank is what many Americans only know how to do. Yunus Paksoy, TRT World, Virginia.
Earlier this week, we spoke to cybersecurity analyst Eddy Willems. He says ransomware attacks against companies are on the rise and that employees need special training to guard against them.
It's what we call a typical ransomware attack, however, with a couple of special features in it. Normally you have something like two kinds of attacks, or you're going to misuse a weakness in the server. But this is likely to be something like somebody who clicked on the wrong link in an email or something like that. And by that, he installed actually something like a backdoor inside the company. And then, of course, the cyber criminals are trying to investigate and slowly progress inside the organization. And what it makes it a little bit special is that they downloaded data this time. So they downloaded something like 100 gigabytes of data. And of course, that could bring the blackmail sum much higher than normal, and that's possibly one of the problems. DarkSide seems to be a very professional group of cyber criminals. They seems to be coming from something like retired ex-gang members from other groups. And they claim to be not to attack hospitals, educational or governmental organizations, actually. Something like a Robin Hood image they have. But of course, that's of course to legalize their actions. And so they have something like and they also claim to donate what they earn to charity a little bit. But yeah, we all know that it's of course not really the case. It's becoming a trend at this moment because we see more and more attacks like this one. So that's definitely one of the biggest problems. Now, to solve this, you have, of course, the security measures you can take in place, but also I think the most valuable thing is, of course, maybe creating or improving the security awareness of the employees. I think that's a very underestimated problem at this moment, and I think this could also help in the solution of this kind of problems in the future.